What is up guys, and welcome back to another Wrath of the Lich King Classic video. Today we are talking about the Fresh WOTLK Servers once again, and in this video I will be giving you my top 10 leveling tips for these Fresh servers. We have quite a few things to go through today, so let's get right into it. Number 1, from level 58 to 70, do dungeons in TBC Classic. This is first of all for reputation. You can get some really easy gear from reputation. Some professional recipes are locked behind reputation, and there's also a soft attunement for heroic dungeon keys, and so on. But mostly, this is so you can save as many quests as possible for level 70. On these Fresh servers, raw gold will be incredibly valuable and difficult to obtain, and doing all of the outland quests at level 70 will give you a lot of gold, because the experience you would have gotten while leveling will now give you gold instead, and you can easily rake in several thousand raw gold. I think close to 5,000 from doing all of the outland quests. Plus, there's daily quests as well. Dungeon leveling can actually also be more efficient than questing, and even if it isn't quite as efficient, I would say it's more than worth it to sacrifice that little bit of efficiency so you can get some real easy raw gold once you're level 70. Once again, I cannot stress enough how valuable gold will be on these Fresh servers. It is a fresh economy, and the purchasing power of each individual gold will be huge, so raw gold is definitely king. Number 2, this one might seem pretty obvious, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Find people to play with. Seriously, leveling up and everything around it is so much more fun when you have people to play with or enjoy the journey with. Whether that is real life friends or online friends or a guild, leveling up is so much more fun when you have people around you to share the experience with. As we will be starting at level 1 with no dungeon finder or anything like that, there is a social necessity involved, and if you're looking to do dungeons while leveling up, which I think most people will do every so often, you need to have a group for that. For this particular reason, I would recommend checking the Classic WoW subreddit and join different Discord channels if you're looking for people to play with on these Fresh WOTLK servers. Number 3, gathering professions. While leveling up, you might want to think about which professions you have. These are Fresh servers after all. There will be no materials circulating in the economy, and therefore materials will be in high demand. That being said, some professions can be difficult to skill up while leveling, or they might slow down your leveling process by quite a bit. For example, herbalism and mining requires you to go out of your way to look for nodes in order to skill up, and chances are you will outlevel a zone before your herbalism or mining skill is high enough for the next zone. On the other hand, skinning will pretty much always be at the same skill as your level, and skinning mobs for extra leather will provide you with extra raw gold while leveling up if you decide to vendor that leather, and in my opinion it is worth vendoring the leather at the beginning, because a lot of people will have skinning. If you hold on to the leathers for a long time, they will eventually be worth auctioning, but you are much better off vendoring the leather and then spending your gold on investments with higher profit margins. Personally, I'm planning to go with herbalism and mining, simply because I think that is the best long-term play. Plus, I don't mind leveling a little bit slower, if that means I can make more gold at max level. Plus, I'm planning to go absolutely no life at launch anyway. That being said though, if you want to level up fast, you might want to consider having skinning, and maybe only one gathering profession like herbalism or mining, or even drop both of them if you really care about speed leveling. There's a lot of gold to be made by leveling up quickly, so there's definitely a decision to be made here between leveling fast versus skilling up professions. Number 4, leveling add-ons. Seriously, this speeds up leveling significantly, especially in Classic WoW where you are running between zones and there's actually a lot of walking involved. The questing zones are spread across long distances of walking, and more than ever will having a good questing route save you several hours of playing time. It is quite easy to get lost in the world of of Classic WoW where to go next while leveling. Should you go to Deathswell or Marsh, Stranglethorn Vale, or maybe Desolate, and which zone is the most optimal one to go for after you have finished your current zone? Well, with the right leveling add-on, all of the thinking is done for you, and all you have to do is following what the add-on says in order to level up the most optimal way. You have simple questing add-ons like Questy, which will tell you where to go in order to complete your quests, but this one still requires you to find out which zone to go to and when to go there by yourself, so it requires some Classic WoW knowledge and thinking. On the other hand though, you also have add-ons such as, for example, RestedXP, which also comes with a leveling guide which will individualize your leveling route based on your faction, race and class to give you the fastest and the best leveling route possible, telling you exactly where to go and when to go there, and it even tells you where to put your Hearthstone and when to use it to save the most time, and it will remind you when to go and train your class abilities. It even keeps in mind things such as weapons, which are big upgrades while questing, and will help you level up faster. So if you're looking for a leveling add-on for WOTLK Fresh Servers, I definitely recommend checking out RestedXP, and if you're looking to check out RestedXP, there's a link down below in the video description and the pinned comment that you can click, and you can even try it out for free before purchasing the full version, just to make sure it's what you're looking for. So you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Go and test it out, sign up with my link down below. You can actually pre-order the Wrath of the Lich King Classic leveling guides from RestedXP right now, and by pre-ordering you also get a free copy of Tactics level 17 to 71 World First Preparation Guide, giving you a complete step-by-step preparation for how to hit level 71 at the fastest speed possible with questing items and pre-completed quests, which are preparations that you can do right now in TBC Classic. Number 5. Keep First Aid. While leveling up, you will obtain a lot of cloth, and if you're not a tailor, you can use this cloth to skill up First Aid, and personally, I definitely recommend skilling up First Aid. Many classes don't have a lot of self-healing available. For example, warriors, rogues, and even hunters will benefit greatly from having First Aid when it comes to how fast you're actually able to level up, but I recommend everyone at least try and keep First Aid up to speed, even if you do have some self-healing available. That usually costs you mana, which again means more mana breaks, which also means more downtime, while healing yourself with First Aid will usually mean less downtime. Number 6. Use the meat you obtain while questing to skill up cooking. This one is not really important for speed leveling, but cooking is quite important later in the game and in Wrath of the Lich King, which is what these servers are progressing into when the pre-patch is over. There are daily quests related to cooking which can present you with a lot of gold over time, as you can get raw gold from those the cooking dailies, plus you get a cooking token which can be exchanged for valuable materials, which can be sold for even more gold. Basically, skilling up cooking is a long-term play, and since you will obtain a lot of meat while leveling up, that is the best time to actually skill up cooking. Alternatively, create a character and send all of the meat you obtain to that character for them to skill up cooking later. That transitions us perfect into tip number 7, create a character to use for bank storage. You can create as many as you want, and Blizzard intends to allow you to have up to 50 characters on one realm now, so you could potentially have lots of bank characters. This way, whenever you obtain something you want to keep, you can send it to one of those bank characters, so you can keep it for later, instead of taking it up unnecessary bank space, and buying new banks plus bank tabs is expensive, and you want to save as much gold as possible. Number 8, the What's Training add-on. This one will tell you which abilities you can train at what level, and this is actually quite important so you can narrow down on how many times you visit your class trainer. Instead of visiting your trainer every 2 levels, just check the What's Training add-on and visit your trainer when you got a huge upgrade ready. Number 9, do a dungeon quest. These quests can provide you with a huge chunk of experience as well as really strong gear upgrades both in terms of armor and weapons. On top of that, it provides you with dungeon loot from the dungeon itself, as well as a little break from questing, and it puts some variety into your leveling experience. These Fresh Servers is a unique chance to experience dungeons the way they should be experienced without being boosted, so make sure you take advantage of that. For dungeon quests, there is an add-on you can use series which tells you about every single quest available in each dungeon, as well as how to and where to obtain those dungeon quests, and that is Atlas Quest. Tip number 10, and the last thing I want to talk about for today, is that whenever picking a class, remember that these fresh servers will have all of the Wrath pre-patch changes available to them from the get-go, including class changes. So some classes that were difficult to level up in Classic WoW will be a lot less difficult to level up on these fresh servers. One example here is that Paladins have gone from being one of the slowest classes to level up to one of the fastest, just as an example. So keep that in mind when picking a class, especially if you pick your class based on leveling speed or the leveling experience, since leveling up will be a significant part of your journey on these fresh servers. And that is pretty much it, guys. Once again, I want to shout out RestedXP and their leveling guide. I've gotten so many nice messages about their leveling guide since I started promoting it, and it seems that everyone absolutely love it, which is great. I've used it myself ever since they came out with it, and it seriously speeds up my leveling process by a lot. So once again, click the link down below and try it out. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving the video a thumbs up for me, and subscribe to the channel for more Wrath videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.